Ladies and gentlemen, picture a 14-year-old girl walking on broken legs for 2 years. My daughter, consumed by juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, her hip destroyed, then her ankle, massive doses of opiates barely keeping her awake. What tests your faith more than watching an innocent child suffer? But here is what I learned about human resilience. We are tougher than we think, much, much tougher. Let me share something about overwhelming pain that changed my life forever. It doesn't just challenge your body. It challenges everything you believe, everything you know, everything you trust. The nature of suffering. When my daughter first got sick, I thought I knew pain. I'd been through divorces, deaths, failures, but watching her suffer, that was different. That was a darkness I'd never known. But here's what I discovered about darkness. It teaches you to see differently, not better, not worse, just differently. The time frame strategy. Let me tell you about our darkest day. The doctor said she might never walk again. The pain was unbearable. The future, no need to face. But then a nurse taught us something profound. Don't think about next year. Don't think about next month. Just think about the next breath. You see, when the mountain seems too high to climb, you don't look at the summit. You look at your next step, just your next step. On the Crystal Hunter's way, in those hospital rooms, we learned to become hunters. Not of hope. Minus hope was too big. But of tiny moments of beauty, a nurse's kind smile, a ray of sunlight through the window, the taste of fresh orange juice. These weren't distractions from pain. Minus, they were life preservers in an ocean of suffering. The gap between tragedy and hell. Here's something powerful about suffering that nobody tells you. Here is a vast difference between tragedy and hell. Tragedy is what life gives us. Hell is what we create. I watched two families in the hospital. Both had children with the same condition. One family pulled together, found moments of joy, even laughter. The other, they let bitterness tear them apart. Some tragedy. God choices. The Aquinas principle. When suffering strikes, something strange happens. Your senses can either shut down or become heightened. My daughter taught me this. One day, in excruciating pain, she suddenly smiled. "Dad," she said, "have you ever really listened to rain?" That's when I understood. Pain doesn't just break us. It can wake us up. The transformation power. Let me share something beautiful about suffering. It can transform you. Not like a butterfly, that's too pretty. More like a sword being forged. The heat that threatens to destroy you. It can also strengthen you. The pressure that feels unbearable. It can create something unbreakable. The community of pain. You know what's fascinating about suffering? It connects us. In those hospital corridors, I met people from every walk of life. Pain didn't care about their bank accounts or social status. We were all just humans trying to carry an unbearable weight. The path section. You're in your dark moment right now. You have two choices. Let it drag you into hell or transform it into bearable tragedy. The consequence in prizes. Stand up. Right now, find the weight of your pain. Now make this declaration. I choose to face this pain. I choose to seek beauty in darkness. I choose to make tragedy bearable. I refuse to create hell. Define a truth. We can't eliminate suffering. But we can choose how we carry it. We can choose what we make of it. Remember this, in your darkest moment, you don't need to see the whole path. You just need to see your next step. Today, my daughter walks. Not perfectly, but she walks. And more importantly, she dances. Not because the pain is gone, but because she learned to dance with it. Your journey through pain continues now, not toward a life without suffering, but toward a life where suffering doesn't have the final word. Make your suffering meaningful, because in the end, it's not about how much pain you carry. It's about how you carry it. The art of gentle steam. Let me tell you about softness and suffering. Most people think surviving pain means becoming hard, becoming tough, but sometimes the strongest response is gentleness. I watched my daughter one day, in excruciating pain. She was softly humming to herself. Not fighting the pain, not surrendering to it, just being with it. That's when I learned. Sometimes the strongest thing we can do is be gentle with ourselves. The wisdom of pain. You know what's strange about suffering? It teaches you things that joy never could. Things about human nature, about love, about what really matters. In those hospital rooms, I learned more about life than in all my years of success. Pain strips away the unnecessary shouts of what's real. The power of small victories. Let me share something crucial about surviving darkness. You need to redefine victory. Sometimes victory isn't climbing a mountain. Sometimes it's just opening your eyes in the morning. One day, my daughter took 3 steps. Just 3. But we celebrated like she'd won an Olympic medal because in the world of pain, every step matters. The connection principle. Here is what nobody tells you about suffering. It can either isolate you or connect you. The choice is yours. In our darkest times, we found others walking the same path, other parents, other children, other fighters. Together we formed a chain of hope. The beauty of brokenness. You ever heard of kintsugi? It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making something more beautiful because it was broken. That's what pain can do. Not just break you, but break you open. Not just wound you, but create spaces where light can enter. The daily practice. Here is what getting through looks like. It's not one big heroic moment. It's 1,000 tiny choices. Choosing to breathe when you want to scream. Choosing to stay present when you want to escape. Choosing to keep going when stopping seems sweeter. The Tackarunsterdanding. Stand up again. Bat up again. Fan not just your pain, but your potential. Now declare, for I embrace both my strength and my vulnerability. I accept both my tears and my courage. I honor both my wounds and my healing, because true resilience contains them all. The deeper truth. Pain will change you, but you get to choose how. Will it make you bitter or better? Harder or wiser, closed or more open? Remember this. Every moment of darkness is also a moment of choice. Every wave of pain is also a wave of possibility. The mono-wisdom. Today, when I look at my daughter, I don't just see a survivor. I see someone who learned to dance in the rain. Someone who found light in darkness. Someone who made suffering her teacher instead of her tormentor. Your journey isn't about escaping the darkness. It's about learning to see in the dark, learning to find beauty in unexpected places, learning to be both strong and gentle. Because here is the ultimate truth about suffering. It's not just something to survive. It's something that can transform you into someone you never imagined you could be. Are you ready to become that person? Are you willing to let your pain teach you? Are you prepared to find beauty in the darkest places? The choice is yours. But remember, even in your darkest moment, you are not just suffering. You are becoming. Make every moment count, because even in pain, especially in pain, you're writing your story of transformation. Thank you.
Opening hook. I slept in abandoned buildings once. Every night walking into that cold, empty space, I would whisper to myself, this is not how the story ends. One day you'll be a homeowner. Have you ever been there? In that place where pain feels permanent, where every sunrise brings another battle?
Let me tell you something powerful. You don't have to overcome the pain today. You just have to outlast it. The two faces of pain. There's something about pain that most people never understand. It has two sides. One side is pure suffering, the discomfort that makes you want to quit. But there's another side, the glory side.
The side that forges champions. Today we're going to learn how to walk through the fire and find the glory waiting on the other side. Main Kanto 1. The Herner strategy. Here is a truth that changed my life. You don't have to win today, you just have to survive. Today's story illustration. Think of a seed pushing through concrete.
It doesn't break through in one day. It just keeps pushing, one tiny crack at a time, until light breaks through. Action challenge #1. Start your daily survival journal. Each morning, write, today I just need to survive. Tomorrow will take care of itself. 2. The pain recycling plant. Want to know what sets champions apart? They don't waste their pain, they recycle it. Story illustration. Like a blacksmith who takes raw metal and transforms it through fire, your pain can be transformed into power, but only if you stay in the fire long enough. Action challenge #2. Create your pain to power log. Every time you feel like quitting, write down what this pain is teaching you, what it's building in you. 3. The glory beyond. There's something waiting on the other side of pain that most people never see because they quit too soon. It's called glory.
Story illustration. Remember the first time you felt it burn in your muscles? That wasn't weakness leaving, that was strength entering. But you had to push through the burner and the strength action. Remedy number 3. Creating the glory vision board. Coding images, words, and symbols that represent what's waiting for you on the other side of this pain. 4. The reason why I want to know the secret to outlasting pain. Find a reason bigger than the pain. When they kicked me out of school, I knew one thing. This wouldn't be my life story. I just needed one reason to keep going. One reason stronger than the pain. The path. You are standing in your pain right now. You have two choices. Let it break you or let it make you. Remember, pain is temporary, quitting is forever. You don't need to win today, just survive a hero's glory on the other side, the Viniki added. The Confer's oath, stand up right now, feel your pain fully.
Now, make this declaration. This pain is not my ending. It's my transformation. I don't need to conquer it today. I just need to outlast it. Share your survival story in the comments below. Let's build a community of warriors who understand that pain isn't just something to endure. It's something to transform.
Remember, the darkest night produces the brightest stars, but only for those who keep their eyes open until dawn. Together we endure, together we transform, together we prove that what doesn't kill us makes us unscoffable. Your survival begins now. Make your pain proud.
Opening hook, let me tell you something about true glory. It doesn't happen under spotlights. It doesn't happen in stadiums. It happens at 5 a.m. in the darkness when no one's watching. Have you ever wondered why your greatest moments often come from your deepest defeats? Because that's when you truly discover who you are. Not when you are standing on the podium, but when you are climbing up from rock bottom. The on-frame's victory here is a truth about greatness that most people never understand. Championships aren't won in the arena. They're won in empty gyms on silent morning runs in those moments when everyone else is sleeping. True character isn't built in the spotlight, minus it's forged in the dark, main content one. The darkness principle, your finest hour doesn't come from victory. It comes from defeat. When everything's against the wall, when you've hit rock bottom, that's when your true character emerges. Story illustration. Think of a lighthouse. Its true power isn't revealed in daylight. It's only in the darkest night that its real strength shines through. Action teaser number 1. Start your darkness journal. 1. Your defeats, but more importantly, document how you rise from each one. 2. The light Steve Fury here is what separates champions from everyone else. Their heart is like a light switch that's always on. It doesn't flicker when no one's watching. It burns constant, steady, unwavering. Story illustration. Consider a bamboo tree. For years it grows underground, unseen, unwavering. Then in a matter of weeks it shoots up 90 feet. That's the power of consistent, invisible work. Action clarity number 2. Into your always-on checklist, what do you do when no one's watching? These small actions build your character. 3. The glory in solitude. Your most significant victories won't be celebrated by crowds. It'll happen in solitude, when you try and try and try again to be better than you were yesterday. Story illustration. Like a sculptor working alone in their studio, your masterpiece is created in private moments, one chisel strike at a time. Action canyon number 3. Wing your silent victory log. Each day, record one thing you did to improve when no one was watching. 4. The Prefi Foundation. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that defines you. It's your character that shapes everything else. The small things in life, the ones no one sees, those are your real victories. The path think you were standing at a crossroads. One path leads to easy, visible victories, the kind that fade quickly. The other leads through the darkness to lasting glory. Remember, true glory happens in darkness. Karatic is built in silence. Victory starts before dawn. And the Gadi, the assailants in priest, stand up. Right now, feel the weight of your defeats. Now make this declaration. I am the light that burns in darkness. I am the warrior who rises from defeat. I am the champion before the victory. Share your darkness to glory story in the comments below. Let's build a community of warriors who understand that true greatness isn't found in the spotlight, minus it's forged in the shadows. Remember, the size of your victory will be determined by the depth of your character. Together we rise, together we build. Together we prove that the darkest hours create the brightest warriors. Your transformation begins now. Make the darkness proud.